Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Charters Towers Smart Hub information session. Thanks for joining us here in this virtual space. My name is Cassandra Casalino, and I'm the Head of Engagement here at the Smart Precinct in Little Old Townsville, not too far away. Like many of you, we're continuing to adapt, which is why we find ourselves online here this evening. But we're really excited and would love to be with you soon. So thanks for joining us here online. We do hope to see you in person in early March, maybe for the first Charters Towers Smart Hub event. So depending on what the environment's like, then we'll let you know close to the date. So firstly, tonight I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which we meet. And I'd like to pay my respects to all elders past, present and emerging. And I extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here joining us this afternoon. So a little bit of housekeeping. This event is being live streamed and recorded, and many and then maybe shared after this event. So if you could just make sure we don't have any awkward surprise background appearances, we know what they look like. And we ask that you let those around you know that we are live streaming just in case. Tonight, we would love to see your faces. So please share your video if you haven't already. And of course, if you're only comfortable to do so. And I'll also ask that you remain on mute until you want to ask some questions, or we might shout out to you. So there is a chat function which will send a direct message to my team, and we'll endeavour to answer your questions at the end of the evening during our Q&A session. Firstly, let's learn a little bit about Smart Precinct North Queensland, and here we go. Well, if you weren't awake, you probably are now. And that's just a little bit of a snapshot of some of the activities that we did closer to the end of last year and throughout the year last year. So just a little bit about Smart Precinct. So our mission is to create a vibrant ecosystem of high growth companies that are globally competitive and based here in North Queensland. We are a not-for-profit organisation which was established by the region's councils and James Cook University in 2019. We provide support to local entrepreneurs and founders and industry and the wider business community. We have an amazing team, and what we do is help you during the startup or scale up phase of your business. We have support available no matter where you are on your business journey, and this support is really provided through a range of accelerator programs, business mentoring, business advisory and education events that we love to throw. We host monthly meetup events, which are opportunities to learn and network and connect with amazing people that can help you fast track your ideas and accelerate your growth. And I'll keep going through. I'd really like to share some of the key impacts that my team and I have delivered in the very short period that Smart Precinct has been around. As of September last year, we have supported 126 local entrepreneurs and businesses with one-on-one mentoring. We have 27 businesses that have graduated through our Startup On-Ramp Founders course. We have 10 businesses that have graduated our iActivate program, and we've hosted over 52 events supporting over 1,000 attendees. So it's been, last year was a pretty big year. And of these events, we had entrepreneurs attending, investors, local software and tech developers, inventors, and we're really excited to link you all in virtually and also in person when we're able to with these events, and of course the community. We love to help you make connections with the right people, organisations and information. And just in case you don't know, where we are located is Walker Street in Townsville CBD. And as part of the programs that we offer, when you're doing business in Townsville, we really encourage you to use our facilities and our office spaces and connect with us. Tonight, you'll hear from several of our team about the programs, but firstly, let's hear from some of the businesses that we have already supported just recently.
My name's Ben Casley and I'm the owner of Cleverlife, which is an automation product manufacturing company. We started 18 months ago, thereabouts, open for business, and come and attended a session and got invited to be part of the On-Ramp startup program, to be invited to events like the Investors Pitch and meet and greets with other enterprise and business and stuff is something that is invaluable.
Well, it's made us more professional, and it's brought us up to speed with everything that we should be doing and needed to do to move forward. So yeah, we just had the one van, one oven, and now we've doubled in size, and yeah, it's been really good.
I guess I wasn't aware of all the support networks that are out there, and the grants and even the programs that are getting run and the networking events. I just wasn't aware, and Smart Precinct really helps to connect me with those different support services and actually offer support themselves.
Assisting in a very important part for a company like me, which is getting investment. Lydia makes me understand how investors think and what's important.
The networking through Smart Precinct has been invaluable, but having accesses to courses such as iActivate and the fact that it was subsidised made it really affordable for a startup business like myself to do that further education.
Well, there are so many different elements to actually launching a business, some which I had simply no ideas about. So going through that course, broke it down on a weekly basis, and it really allowed me to, one, amplify some of the things that I already understood or thought I understood, and really focus and have resources on things I had simply no idea about. Every single week was just more information to really test what we were thinking in terms of our assumptions, making sure they were robust, and then just continually refining it. There's just so many balls you're keeping in the air when you're trying to juggle a startup, so having a course like that was just absolutely fantastic.
It's a good initiative for the government to be able to back the precinct itself, because yeah, having this base that everyone can come to, and it keeps the funding coming in. That way, government funding helping the precinct obviously helps the businesses and the local economy.
It's invaluable. There's no price you can put on that, because again, it comes back to the fact that they're not here to make money from you. I can go and talk to a marketing agency, and really at the end of the day, they want me to sign up and get their business. Whereas when we come here, it's not that. It's just genuine advice, and you can't buy that. That can't. Yeah, it's hard to find.
Mission of global domination, but I can't sort of put that out there too much. Might threaten the competition. No, I really want to grow a big business and keep it here local in Townsville. I see, why can't we make it big and stay here in Townsville? And I guess COVID's really shown us that you can do meetings with anyone in the world, anywhere. Why do you need to fly anywhere? So I think I'm encouraged by that, and yeah, I think we can make a big successful company and base it here in Townsville.
I have to say I love Dan and his global domination from Townsville. Obviously that's Townsville centric, but the fact that we're all coming together is really cool. I really now would like to give you an introduction to Smart Hub Charters Towers and what it means. With the amazing support of Charters Towers Regional Council, we are super excited to be launching Smart Hub Charters Towers. Wish we were doing it in person at a big event, but that doesn't always, we don't always get to do that. You know, this really is a place for resourcing, support and advice, and to make sure that as a business in the region, you are getting the support you need. So it's amazing that, Charters Towers Regional Council is really getting behind us and allowing us to come in and work with the team there. Through the Smart Hub, our goal is to really help you start your business and accelerate your growth. And what we do is we take the time to understand what your goals are, what your gaps are, and then we build a team of support around you. So the Smart Hub is located at the Excelsior Library, and it's here that you will find a co-working space. This will also be the home of regular meetups and watch parties in the future. And this is a pilot program. And so you've got to get in quick and take advantage of it while you can. And we will share with you how you can connect with the spaces and resources as we go through some of the content tonight. We're very, very lucky to have two very passionate locals, Melanie Lavelle Maloney, who is our Smart Hub Charters Towers lead, and Lee Gray, who is our Smart Hub community activator in Charters Towers. I know that we're welcoming the ladies here tonight, and Mel, you're with us. Would you mind taking yourself off mute? Would you like to say a few words? I know you guys are super passionate about what we've all been working towards, and tonight is a pretty exciting time to be able to finally put it out there and be able to answer some questions for some of the local businesses.
Yeah, thanks, Cass, and welcome everybody. It's just fabulous to see so many businesses and people who are interested in business come along to this information session tonight. And this Smart Hub, where businesses and startups can get support, has been a passion of mine. I've been at council for 2.5 years, and I've strongly encouraged council to offer these services to businesses and to people looking to start up a business. For myself, I worked in the business consulting space for over 10 years and saw the results that business support and advice, what that can do to accelerate startup and business growth. And we're absolutely thrilled that we are piloting the first hub outside of Townsville, and I'm hoping that everybody here tonight will actually share the information with friends, colleagues who might be interested in these types of programs, because the success and the longevity of this program will be based on the numbers of people and businesses that we're able to support. So we're absolutely delighted to be part of this pilot program. Thanks, Cass.
Yeah, thanks, Mel. And it sounds crazy, but I do have kind of little goosebumps going on, because I know that you guys were so super encouraging when we came, and the several times that we've met and, chatted, and you've shown us around, and we've just been biting at the bit to try and get into the community out there and meet those businesses. So we're really looking forward to doing that. And now I've got an amazing team that's super excited to have a bit of a chat. I want to let everybody know that we do have a website, which is spnq.org. If you get super excited at any time, you can jump into the Smart Hub page. There's expressions of interest, there's a recent radio interview, there's lots of information. It's probably a little too much information tonight. Don't worry if you feel overwhelmed at any stage. It is, I think we all were when we started talking about all the programs we're going to be rolling out. But the great thing is that you don't need to know it. That's the amazing thing. You've got your ideas and your businesses, and we have an amazing team to support and guide you through the process. The best way to stay connected is join up for newsletter and also our Facebook page. So we've got about 75 people on there, 80 people at the moment. So we've only just launched it this last couple of days. It's a new space, and we're looking forward to connecting you and keeping you across everything that's going on. Now, I'm sure I've probably missed something there, but here we go. So we do have a range of programs that I did mention, and we're going to dive really deep deep into those right now. I'm not going to go through each one because I've got a lovely team that's going to share those with you. I would encourage you to ask any questions that you have. I'd make a note of them, put them in the chat box. I'm not monitoring the chat tonight because I get too distracted. I've got the lovely Susan Graham-Ryan who's with us here tonight. She's going to keep an eye on it. And of course, any questions, throw it in there and we'll try and get through them. And we can ask the program leads for those. So our first course is Startup On-Ramp. I'd like to introduce you to the very lovely Dr. Lydia Canovas-Diaz, who is our program coordinator. Dr. Lydia is an economist and has an MBA and PhD specialising in innovation, entrepreneurship and investment. She always makes me feel very smart, but she is the smart one. Lydia, welcome, and could you please take us through Startup On-Ramp?
Thank you very much, Cassandra, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight in this informative session. As the coordinator of the Startup On-Ramp program, I'd like to tell you all about it tonight, but please connect with me later if you have more questions. Startup On-Ramp is a pre-accelerator program. It's the leading accelerator program for entrepreneurs with an idea or a startup. This program is ideal for business models based on innovation, technology, and with a desire to scale and expand to new markets. So how we can help you to take your business beyond Charters Towers, beyond North Queensland, Australia, and when possible overseas, with the use of innovative business models and technology. Our last 3 cohorts of entrepreneurs, we have launched 3 already, had all business ideas around software and internet, hardware, a physical product or services that can be packed as a product thanks to, again, innovation and technology. You've already heard some of the testimonials of our entrepreneurs, and they've really launched their business beyond and forward after this program. They've also benefited a lot from media exposure opportunities and connection with industry partners and investors. Can you pass to the next slide, please? Thank you. So what's the Founders Course? This program is going to accelerate your business using a hybrid model. And what that means is that while you'll have access to all the content in an online platform, we will also meet as a group online or in the library with your engagement team to discuss the content, to do activities together, to receive guest speakers, those experts that will recommend you what to do in your particular business and circumstances. So what essential skills you would learn during this program? You are going to work out if your startup idea is any good and change it fast if it's not. That's very important to save both time and money when you are starting out a new business. You are going to learn how to test your idea with customers, how to build a minimum viable product, how to recruit and work with developers, how to launch your product and get your first customers. I think that's one of the most important ones. What mistakes cause startups to fail and how to avoid them. How to get the legal structure right. Again, very important when you're starting a business. How to raise money from investors or other funding options. How to build a world-class team. We will also work in your marketing strategies and financial basics. Can you pass to the next one? Thank you. So the course is a 16-week program and is divided in 3 main blocks. First, startup essentials, everything you need to know about your startup, launching your product, and growth and funding. Can you pass to the next one, please? Thank you. Expressions of interest are now open for the 4th cohort, and we are going to meet every Monday to watch and discuss the content together. And every Thursday during that period of 16 weeks, to receive guest speakers who are the experts of that particular field that we discussed the previous Monday. We will have local businesses, but we will also invite business owners and experts from all around Australia. Thanks to the support of Charters Towers, we have now a space to receive businesses and expressions of interest, and the final cost of this program is for you $550, exclude the GST. Sorry, Cass, I can see the other slide.
Which one did you want to go to next?
Yeah, no, that one.
Oh.
So just to finish the brief explanation of this program, if you have 4 hours a week to commit to a program who is going to help you launch your startup and to extend your business further, and I really recommend you to go through this 4-month program with me and all the local business owners who will join us.
Awesome. Thank you, Lydia. And I will say, I've actually done this course. I did it with Lydia. She was amazing. The support that she provides. If you're sitting at home and you're thinking, I'm not sure if I could make every Monday or every Thursday, it's really important to note that we try and support you as much as we possibly can. We try and record content wherever we possibly can as well. We understand that everybody's working in different environments, but to get you in the room with an amazing cohort or online meeting on a regular basis with an amazing cohort is just adds next level value. I'm sure you'd agree, Lydia. It's
of course. I think that's the most valuable part of the program, that the relationship that develops inside the cohort and how they want to support each other is really beautiful, and it goes beyond the program. And as well, it's very important that for you to know that we want to see you succeed. So we are going to take any opportunity to highlight your success among our network, because we want you to succeed. And for that reason, we've analyzed this program with a graduation event, when we give you the opportunity to showcase your business in front of an audience. Now, that audience can be potential clients, collaborators, partners, investors. For you, it's a great opportunity to start and start in the right way.
And for a lot of people, that sounds absolutely terrifying if you don't love public speaking, but you love your idea. And I will say that you prepare everyone very well to be able to get up. It's an essential skill to be able to pitch your idea, whether that is in an elevator or wherever we're at. So thank you, Lydia. Please, if you've got any questions for Lydia, we do have those spots available. We can ask questions at the end, or you can jump onto the website, Smart Hub, Charters Towers, and then you can submit your submission expressions of interest. You don't have to know if you're not sure if this is a program for you, just put your hand up and send in expressions of interest. Lydia will call you and talk one-on-one personally about your idea and your the opportunities ahead. Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you, guys.
Sweet. Our next course that we'd love to chat with you about is the iActivate course, delivered in collaboration with CQ University and Impact Boom. I'm not going to steal all of her thunder, but here to tell you all about it is the lovely Susan Graham-Ryan, our Smart Precinct Communities Manager. Susie, are you there?
I'm here, and the lights just turned off, but I'm hoping that they're on and you can see me. I had to just do an emergency wave then. Good evening, everyone. Yes, so I'm talking about iActivate, which is our course for social enterprise, which put simply is business for good. The program, as Cass has said, is a collaboration between CQ University and Smart Precinct NQ. It is also delivered in a hybrid model, so in person and online. It has a weekly commitment. Cass, if you want to jump to the next slide, please. It has a weekly commitment of about 5 hours a week with about an hour and a half of face-to-face. And like any course or school or uni, you get out what you put in. So we encourage you to give it your all through that 12-week program. One of the great features of the iActivate cohorts of around 10 people is, again, the connection and the support network that are created within the group to provide a shoulder sometimes, but also encouragement, help, discussion and ideas with one another. We also encourage people to establish a buddy system, link with peer mentors, and you also get 3 personal mentoring sessions with Lydia as part of joining the iActivate cohort. Program fees for this course are $625 plus GST, and there may be some subsidies in place which we can update you from if you apply for the upcoming cohort. iActivate, if you want to jump onto the next slide, Cass, with that, which has the list. Thank you for that. iActivate covers a wide range of content across the 12 weeks, from understanding purpose, vision and impact to business modeling, prototyping, marketing, legals and pitching. Our next cohort is preparing to get underway in early April. So if you'd like to find out more or express interest in this program, please contact us through the website. I see a few people have already sent through some questions on the chat and also signed up to our website, which we really appreciate, and hopefully we'll talk to more of you soon. But yeah, happy to answer any questions for iActivate Business for Good for Social Enterprise if anyone has any later on.
Awesome. And if you don't know if you're a social enterprise, it doesn't matter. If you think you are, or you're just interested in the course, shout out to the girls and the team, and they'll definitely be able to talk through it. I think my light's going out as well. It's like the sun's going down over Charters Towers at the moment. Yeah, so we will keep going, very conscious of everyone's time. And I just want to also make mention that in that last slide, it had 16 weeks there. Suze, I know you referred to 12. The 16 weeks that were listed in accounts for also a pitch session going into that. So it's the whole period that will be supporting you. Next, we are now going to move to Big Little Business Bootcamp. Now, this is the ultimate small business course and is delivered by business growth expert Jane Arlett, and experienced business coach Megan Colwell. I'd love to invite Jane to tell us all about it.
Thanks, Cass, and thank you for that beautiful, great big yellow slide. That looks wonderful. So the Big Little Business program, so firstly I should say I'm a business owner myself. I have been for 30 odd years. I've made all the mistakes under the sun in terms of running a business. There's a lot of grey hairs up here that my hairdresser deals with quite nicely for me. But you know, I've been in the shoes of every business owner. I built my businesses up over a period of time, and to sort of a $10 million turnover, and I've exited those businesses now, and now I work as a business growth consultant, and I also consult to Smart Precinct as their Chief Business Growth Advisor. So Big Little Business Bootcamp is based around the book Big Little Business that I wrote a year ago, and I actually have been out to Charters Towers. I did a little session out there at the Ricks a little while ago, probably close to 12 months ago. I will say Charters Towers is a bit of a favourite spot of mine. We're avid campers, and we often frequent Bivouac and go to the Tours Drive-In, and I think it's a beautiful part of the world. So I'm kind of excited to be bringing Big Little Business Bootcamp out to Charters Towers. So how it runs is a 5-week program. It very much is it's called a boot camp because you have to do the work, and so it's very much a practical, tangible workshop style boot camp. So Megan Colwell and myself will work with a consciously very small cohort. So we usually have about 8 to 10 people in the groups, and so you get a lot of hands-on support as you go through that. We delivered it 2.5 hours a week for 5 weeks. We have said for Charters Towers, we'll do that either face-to-face or virtual, or a hybrid, most likely a hybrid, depending on the cohort. So I think what we're calling for is expressions of interest, and then we'll work with the cohort as to what sort of mode of delivery the cohort feels might suit them best. And same goes for the date. So we'll get expressions of interest first, and then we'll roll it out to suit. Going through what we actually cover. So there's 5 modules. The first one is building your business on a page, which is essentially really understanding what your business values are and your purpose, why are you actually in business, and what is it you're trying to achieve, understanding the pillars, which are the key revenue elements of your business, and the foundations that allow you to deliver on that. Module 2 is all about strategic thinking, or big business thinking, prioritizing your time and really thinking like a bigger business, and that's critical to helping you grow. I guess in layman's terms, it's working on your business, not in your business. And how do we actually, it's easy said, but how do you do it? And so we actually drill down to how we can get you there. Module 3 is probably my favourite one, the financial detective. I'm a numbers girl. I love numbers. A lot of people don't, but it's really important in business that you do. And I always say a responsible business owner runs a profitable business. And if you're not making a profit, then let's fix that, because you need to do that to support yourself and your business and your services and your staff and so on and so forth in the long term. Module 4, we drill down into marketing, and that's Megan's area of specialty, really understanding who is your ideal customer or client, not necessarily the ones you have now, but who are your ideal ones and how do we attract them. And then we round it all out with roles, goals and process, which talks at length about how to manage staff. We're often very unfair when we employ staff. We often employ them with very little structure and support. And so we make sure that you've got that in place before you start employing people, or if you're already employing them, we get that fixed straight away. So as I said, a very practical hands-on workshop, as you can see from that lovely slide of the last cohort going through. The cost per participant is $2,500 plus GST. There are $500 scholarships available for 10 Charters Towers businesses to kick them off. So I think that's about it, unless anyone has any questions, but it's, as I said, very practical, very tangible. You'll get, from day one, you'll get skills that you can take away and use in your business straight away. And my main objective is business growth, and that's what we achieve.
Thank you so much, Jane. And of course, if anyone's interested in that, just jump onto the website, Expressions of Interest for Big Little Business. If you're unsure if that's a program for you, just shout out, and again, one of us will get back to you and point you in the right direction of what program is best suited. I do have a little presentation I will just jump straight into, just around previous Big Little Business participants. Thanks so much, Jane.
It hit the mark for me because it really allowed, I guess, a safe environment to talk about business, which is obviously a very personal thing for everyone, but we were all able to share enough information that we all got the benefit from it without having to reveal too much.
Jane and Megan create an atmosphere that's really collaborative and where you feel really comfortable to engage.
Big Little Business Bootcamp for me was brilliant. Really gave me the opportunity to access the wisdom and the skills and the professional experience of two of the best businesswomen in town.
It's just a good program to make you stop and think about all the things that you need to for a small business, and then you can discuss it in the group, which is really helpful.
Would definitely recommend this course to people, whether you're just starting out or you already have a well-established business.
I would recommend it to anyone, small business, big business. I have already put in place along the way some of the learnings and seen the difference.
That must be a very proud moment for you, Jane, as well. I know how hard you've been working on that program. So thanks for sharing it with us. We're really proud to roll it out through Smart Hub Charters Towers as well. So now what I would like to share with you just quickly, I'm very conscious of time. I really want to get to that Q&A session, but I just want to let you know about a couple of other services that we offer. This one is a really big one. As a business or a startup in the region, you guys actually have access to 3 fully subsidised mentoring sessions with a growth expert. Obviously, that's thanks to Smart Precinct, North Queensland Charters Towers Regional Council. If you have your phone handy right now, I want you to pull your phone out. I want you to zoom in on that little QR code that's there, and you can secure your first mentoring session with Lydia. It'll go straight to her diary, and you'll be able to lock in a date that's suited. The first session that happens is a discovery session where you'll discuss your key pain points with your growth expert, and she'll be an amazing sounding board for your ideas and your challenges, and then she'll present you with a report of recommendations for you to include, which is a 12-month growth plan. These sessions are suitable for anyone who wants to start or scale a business, so get in early and book your session. As I mentioned, you have 3 there available, and And how you book is through that QR code. We will be putting all of this up tomorrow on the Facebook page, and we'll also be sending it to your inboxes tomorrow as well. So hopefully you'll have all the information that you need. The next little bit of information that I will share with you is we have mentoring, business mentoring with a growth expert, but we also have business growth advisory, and this is headed up by our Chief Growth Expert Jane Arlett and also Megan Colwell. These business advisory services are available as a fee for service via the Smart Hub, and they can be booked by reaching out to the team through our online platforms as well. So we do have some changes happening in this space. We're not quite ready to reveal them just yet, but we're trying to make it more accessible than ever before. So that is another service that will be available to the region. A couple of things that we should really mention is that through Smart Hub Charters Towers, we can connect you with a range of communities supported through the Smart Precinct. These include communities such as DevNQ, which is a group of software developers and programmers, Inventors NQ, which is our local inventors group. It's just starting out, but there's some really creative people and also just people who love doing and making and creating. So we have the Townsville STEM Hub and, of course, AusCyber, who supports the development of cybersecurity, the cybersecurity sector in the region. So this is a very small portion of the people we can connect you with. So make sure if there's someone that you're wanting to connect with, or you've got a particular barrier, maybe getting your business up and running, or you're not sure, or you want to make that special connection, then make sure you mention it to the team during your meetings. Now, I mentioned earlier we do one major event each month, and that is the First Wednesday Connect. And if I could have fit one more video in here, I would have shared it with you because it's one of our favourite events. First Wednesday of every month. I'm aiming to do this one or the next one. Our lovely Susan Graham Ryan nurtures that one with love every month, and we support her, and I hope to actually attend that via Zoom or however we make it work in Charters Towers. We do something called a hotspot, where we feature our local businesses on hotspot. This particular hotspot is an introduction. Oops, sorry, someone's not on mute. I'll just let you know. Suze, I don't know if you can go through and have a look. You can introduce yourself on the hotspot, especially if you're new to the community. You can share opportunities. We'll share some of those hotspot videos the next couple of weeks so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's a really super safe space. It's somewhere where you can really just share the word. You might have, you want an area that you need some support on, or you might just want to celebrate a win. So yeah, the hotspot is something we do every First Wednesday Connect, and we'd really love to feature some of you Charters Towers businesses on it and join and collaborate together between both of our regions. What else can I tell you? Some up and coming dates. Now, these have all been kind of thrown out a little bit, so I suggest you talk to the program lead for up and coming dates. We do have listed at the moment Startup On-Ramp application closing this Friday. We'd really love to not have to extend that because we want to get straight in. So if you are keen, please let Lydia know. But of course, if there's any barriers there, please let us know as well. So Q&A session. This is where I kind of get to breathe, and I'm going to make everybody else do the work. If there's any questions, I would love to throw it over to the team. Is there something that we haven't covered? I do have some information about our contact details and stuff coming up and your next steps. But does anyone have any questions?
We do have one question, because I know sometimes people can be a little bit nervous to ask the first question. We did have a question on the chat that's come through asking about if there is a payment plan option for some of our courses.
At the moment, we don't have a payment plan. I know that Lydia has in the back of her mind been actually investigating some of those options. And I think what I would say is that we don't want there to be barriers. So I can't sit here and say, yes, there's a payment plan, but I definitely recommend you talking, to Lydia for Startup On-Ramp or Jane, and we'll look at some options and how we can manage that. We have several cohorts that are going to be rolling out. This program obviously goes for 6 months. This pilot goes for 6 months. We're hoping that will be extended, but the best way is just put your hand up and let the energy of the world, without that sounding a little crazy, let the people around you support you to get you there. So at the moment, no, but let's look into it. Any other questions? Feel free to take yourself off mic. I know it can be quite daunting. it's really super cool to see so many awesome people, and I don't like to put anyone on the spot, but I'd love to go around the grounds, but I'm not going to do that to you all. So you're all off the hook. Cool. Okay, so conscious of your time, we'll keep moving along. If you think of a question,
yes, Stacey
went
off mute, so I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right. I was just trying to get in. I just wanted to touch with Jane with the Big Little Business when she was thinking of the Charters Towers branch of that, like timeframes for when she'd start running that.
Stacey, we can do that as soon as we have demand to do so. So we can do it. We could start delivering it in the next few weeks if people wish to do that. As I said, we're sort of discussing whether we would do that as a there's several delivery method options that we can do. So at the moment it's once a week face to face, which is obviously difficult if I'm traveling. Megan and I are both traveling out there once a week, just in terms of costs and so on and so forth, and time management. But we talked about maybe we might come out and do the first one out there face to face and meet the team, and then do the rest virtually. There's also an opportunity that we could do 2 full days. So we could do a Saturday full day, and then the following Saturday or Sunday, the full day, and do it over 2 weekends. So I think that really, because this is the first time that we're delivering it remotely, I think what we decided was it's best to just get a cohort together and then speak to the cohort about what they prefer. If people are really comfortable doing virtual, then we'll just do it virtual. If people prefer some face-to-face contact, then we'll do some face-to-face contact. And if people are happy for 2 majorly big days, because to deliver a 5-week program in 2 days is quite a lot of information to absorb, but if people are keen and motivated and happy to do that, then we can do that as well. So
yeah, perfect.
But time wise, you know, I think let's get a cohort together, and then we'll go from there. And as I said, sorry, I don't know if you can hear my dogs in the background. That's somebody daring to walk up the street in their territory. Sorry, where was I going with that? So if we purposely have very small cohorts was what I was saying. So you know, we want it to be a very face-to-face, hands-on sort of workshop.
How many people in that cohort? Sorry.
Usually when we're in towns or face-to-face, we have 8 to 10 people. So we don't go over that because it makes it very difficult. But, you know, if we have a smaller cohort from Charters Towers, we'd be prepared to run it as a smaller group, as a pilot program. I think if we could get half a dozen together, we'd be happy to sort of run it with that. But I'd like to think we can get 8 to 10 out of Charters Towers. I know there's a lot of pretty active, the group that I spoke to last time was a businesswomen's group with Tracy Maff, and they were certainly very engaged and keen and motivated. And you've got some amazing businesses out there, and Smart Precinct, as you know, our mantra is to create globally competitive businesses from Townsville, but you have some globally competitive businesses right there in Charters Towers, and Stacey Price is one of those. So you know, it's a really exciting opportunity, I think, to help to grow the Charters Towers community.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Thank you. I will start chatting to some people.
Round them up.
And Jane, just with that, for the cohort, am I right, Cass, in saying that we'll use the library to bring everyone together for that?
Yeah, that's correct. So we're kitting out the library so that we can really host those watch parties we've been wanting to do, but also, so whether that's for whatever program, it'll be in a designated space. We'll also have, you'll see on screen, there's a free co-working space that'll also be at the library between 10 and 3 Monday to Fridays. So we're, as far as events and registrations, all of the things that we do pretty much are organised, personally organised by the leads of the program, and then they bring you together. So, and then you can just, you know, drop into the library if you need a working space. But yeah.
Because I think you'll find one of the issues with Charters is the internet connection. So if you can bring people together to a spot that has reliable internet, like the library, even if it is virtual for the trainer, that way there's just less restrictions.
Yeah, and I think too, it was one thing that we raised, we discussed with Mel and Lee early on. It was something that was a priority, obviously, as a Smart Precinct as well. We don't want to have bad internet connection, and sometimes it happens. We've got the tech gods have been on our side tonight, but I guess, you know, having everyone coming together. We've learned a lot in the last 2 years around how to deliver sessions online. We don't really feel like there's much of a barrier there. Obviously, we prefer to be in person, but we still feel like in these times where we are locking down, we're not going to pause, well, not that we're locking down anymore, but we're slowing down or keeping a little bit more segregated. We're not going to pause our programs. We really feel like it's actually the time to stand up.
Yep.
And really use this time, you know, to work through those challenges that maybe you've been thinking about but haven't had the opportunity. And there's an amazing range of growth experts and experts in residence that are available to you to help you do that.
Excellent, thanks.
Now, I can talk a lot. So if I'm going to be quiet just for a couple of seconds and give anyone else the opportunity, if you'd like to unmic yourself, if you've got any other questions.
I just wanted to agree with you, Cash. You do talk a lot, so time for somebody else to share.
Please
a couple
do.
of people have jumped off mute, so feel free to jump in, guys.
Well, I was just wondering, is there like certain businesses that aren't, I'm going to start a soap and candle business, so is that something that this is, you know, will help, or is it more technical type of businesses, or?
I don't know if someone wants to jump in and answer that other than me, but it's certainly for, there is something for everyone here and everyone is welcome. Jane, do you want to add in?
Yeah, I'll speak from my perspective. Definitely that would work in with what we do. So in our last cohort, we had a fellow that just had a concept for a business. I shouldn't say that, he was already running a blog that was quite popular, but it was just a free blog and he wanted to monetize that. So how can he look at that? And so we worked with him on creating these. So again, what are your values? What's your purpose? What's the point? What are you trying to do? And it was a hiking, it's called Wonder Stories. And it's kind of, if you're interested in outdoor hiking and beautiful places to see in our region, then Google Wonder Stories and hop on his blog. But yeah, he just, as I said, he's been blogging and he's a hiker and he's a naturalist and he just wants to share his love with the world. But now he's got so many people that are loving it. He thinks, well, can I actually commercialize it, because it takes so much time to produce the content. And so we work through, here's the idea, here's the concept, you know, these are the pillars that we could potentially get revenue out of, and these are the things that you need to do in order to deliver on that. So absolutely it can be valuable from that. But Lydia might want to talk, she works a lot with startup businesses as well.
Yeah, and from an e-commerce perspective, Lydia?
Yeah, I'll say the main difference will be what do you want to achieve with this business? Where do you see yourself and how far you want to go? If you want just to sell in the markets, in Charters Towers, I probably won't suggest you to enroll in a startup program. I don't think that will add value. But if, let's say, you want to sell deepest range of products and using e-commerce platforms to be able to get to customers all around Australia, I'll say jump on a startup program. You are going to get a lot of value out of that.
I'm really interested in going wholesale to all over Australia, but like I used to own a cafe, so I know customers and, you know, how to do markets and things, but to go to that next level of wholesaling and yeah, so I just wasn't sure if I'd be suited to the program or not. But
let's have a chat, Christine. I'll be happy to meet with you this week or next week and get to know more about you and your business, and that way I'll be able to point you to the right direction and the right program.
Thank you. Yep.
Brilliant. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments?
Just a comment that all the programs that we'll be delivering are subsidised. I don't think that was made clear in the first one in yours, Lydia, but you know, the $500 is they're subsidised. Most of the programs are about $2,500. Is that right? So you know, we're just hoping that people will take up this fabulous opportunity to get on board with the programs, because you know, it's not often that you get opportunities like this.
Yeah,
And the other thing, the incredible value that also comes layered on top of that is the mentors and the people with lived experience that, say, for example, with Lydia, that will connect you with all of within her program as well. So we're very much about bringing in people who have experienced it, been in the same position as yourself, and then have gone out and actually made it work, or have learned some really hard lessons, and we learn off those as well. So yeah, they are all subsidised, and the business advisory is the one that isn't subsidised at this point, and we're also looking at that in the future, what that looks like. Cool. And no more questions. I have to find another way to say that. It doesn't sound inviting for someone to ask a question. Any more questions? Who has a question? Throw a question. All right. We'll keep going. So next steps, you know, I guess the biggest thing is we would just encourage you to either enroll or at least put your hand up and connect with, you know, any of the ladies that you've seen tonight or through our programs, or just touch base on charterstowers@spnq.org. There's not many barriers here to be able to get this support, so definitely reach out, definitely join the Facebook page, book a mentoring session, and then of course lock in the next event. Now, just a reminder, how you can do that is just filling out an expressions of interest on the Smart Precinct website. As I said, reach out to a team and look out for tomorrow's email, which will have this recording. So if you want to recap on anything, and we'll put the contact details of everyone in there as well. So if you feel like you want to reach out to someone personally, I'm sure none of the team will mind us doing that. So that's pretty much the end of our information session. I hope that you've got some value out of it this evening. Thank you so much to all of our amazing contributors, to Mel, to Lee, and of course all of our local Charters Towers businesses that are joining us. We really appreciate your time, and we really hope that this is the beginning of something really big for you all. So I think it's definitely, we're very excited about this collaboration. The 2nd of March, we will hopefully be there and running an event in conjunction with Townsville. So thank you everyone, and that's the end.